Hey, what's up everyone? It's JR here again at holyfaith.tv. I wanted to come on tonight to talk about fixing mistakes from the past. So we've all done things, said things, behaved in a way that was inappropriate, said things to other people that maybe hurt their feelings, or maybe we've done something against another person that we wish that we could take back. And I just wanted to come on and say that it's never too late to repair what was broken in the past. And now sometimes there may be a person where it's not possible to go back and to change something that has already happened between you and them, or maybe it's you and a group of people, or maybe it's a church that you used to go to where for whatever reason maybe something happened, or maybe it was a group that you used to be a part of that you had a falling out with people in the group. But we have to do our best to go and make remedy for the sins that we cause. And sometimes there's two sides to every story. Most of the time there's always two sides to every story. Maybe from your perspective you were in the right, but the other person was completely in the wrong. But oftentimes if we look back and we evaluate what happened, if we're being honest with ourselves, we can look back and we can see that even though we may have been justified in whatever position it was we were taking, perhaps we could have done it in a more appropriate manner. When you look at some of the lives of the saints, so one that I look at in particular, and I'm definitely not a perfect person by any stretch of the imagination, but one that I look at in particular is Saint Andre of Montreal, or also known as Brother Andre. So Brother Andre was declared a saint, and I believe it was back in 2010 by Pope Benedict XVI. But if you read through his life, so he's somebody that relatively lived in our times. He died in the 1930s, and his major project was St. Joseph's Oratory in Montreal. And he lived an extraordinary life by being, for the most part, an ordinary person. So one of the things that really strikes me about Brother Andre is that he had such a wide circle of friends. And, you know, oftentimes we think that when we're preaching the truth and telling people the truth, that we're going to make a lot of enemies along the way. And sometimes it just happens. Some people are naturally, on a natural level, they're not disposed to the truth, so therefore they fight against it. But when you look at Brother Andre had a number of friends who were not Catholics. And then he still managed to build bridges with them and friendships. And they said about Brother Andre when he died that never has there been a saint with so many friends. So, and a large number of them were not Catholics. But yet, you know, he even converted many people that came to see him from all over the United States, sometimes even overseas from over in Europe. And oftentimes, if you read through some of the stories, I have a great book here that I bought at the Oratory on the life of Brother Andre, and it's called Brother Andre of Montreal According to Witnesses. And if you read through that book, you'll notice that people came, you know, out of a sense of the trust that they had in Brother Andre. Because even though they didn't believe in the Catholic faith, they didn't hold the Catholic faith, they knew that there was something special, something extraordinary about Brother Andre. And certainly God used him as a tool to convey his message to the world. But it really started with Brother Andre as well, being open and disposed to the graces of God, working through him. And that's why he was able to convert a number of people, because of the love that he showed him. And oftentimes, what makes me bring this up is, you know, I post some posts on Facebook, and, you know, I want to generate discussion, but oftentimes what I end up finding happening is there's a lack of love, a lack of charity on there. Now, that doesn't mean that we have to sacrifice truth in order to show genuine love, but we have to be a little bit measured and analyze some of our responses, myself included, me included. I definitely have to take a long, hard look and say to myself, in my responses, am I bringing people into the kingdom, or am I further leaving them outside the door and maybe further blinding them? And sometimes that's our own fault. So obviously, if people want to find the truth, God's going to find some way to get it to them. But we have to remember that we're vessels as well. And we have to do our best to represent Jesus Christ and represent his church in the best way that we can, always asking for help from God, from Jesus Christ and the Mother of God, always getting help from his saints by making devotions, living a holy life, following the commandments. And that's really the way that we win souls, is by showing love to our neighbor. Even when our neighbor doesn't agree with us, even if we don't even necessarily like our neighbor, we can still show them love. So I hope that little rant provides a little bit of insight for you, and that's all for now.